Hey everybody, this is Stratagem, and these are my thoughts on the third episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 7, A Flurry of Emotions. In this episode, Twilight is going to visit some sick children to cheer them up by bringing them gifts, cake, and reading to them. Seems like the Princess of Friendship doesn't have that many royal duties to attend to. Alas, her plans are promptly dashed when Princess Cadance, Shining Armor, and the creepy Alcon baby appear. The young parents want to have some free time and decide to dump their offspring on Twilight. And in true Season 1 or 2 fashion, Twilight decides she can babysit Flurry in addition to her other plans. And then absolutely nothing goes wrong. So, while I was rather worried about this episode at first, because, well, the creepy baby, it actually turned out a lot better than expected. We get to see both Twilight and Spike in top form, Flurry provides some good entertainment without being too annoying, and we even get to see some character moments between Candy and Shining. Let's start with the main plot, involving Twilight, Spike, and Flurry Heart. Twilight thinks she can easily get the things for the sick foals and entertain them for a while, whilst also taking care of Flurry Heart. After all, she is the
best aunt ever.
It's refreshing to see the old, in over her head, chaotic Twilight sparkle again, as opposed to the calm Princess Twilight she has become. So of course she has bitten off more than she can chew, being late for everything and having a bored Flurry Heart cause mayhem at every stop, causing Twilight to lose even more time. A vicious cycle, so to speak. Spike is also really good in this episode. He mostly keeps his calm and realizes early on that things won't go the way Twilight thinks they will. He keeps reminding her of how far behind in the schedule they are and pretty much keeps her on track. This is what Spike's supposed to do. He is a support character in every sense of the word. He truly shines when he's supporting the other characters, and he does so pretty well in this episode. It's also good to see the humor with him not coming from him being grossly incompetent this time. And finally there's Flurry Heart. Well, she's a baby and doesn't have much of a character yet. Still, she's nowhere near as annoying as I thought she would be, so there's that. So, what about the parents? What are they doing in Ponyville now that they got rid of Flurry? They visit an art gallery. Yay! Fun! Apparently, a guard and friend of Shining Armor, Spearhead, is now an artist and is holding an exhibit of his work. Shining and Candy aren't really art enthusiasts, but
who cares? We're not changing diapers.
It's nice to see some normal interaction between these two. We haven't seen much of that before. They actually act like a real couple here, being both stressed out and glad not having to deal with a foal for a few hours, though they quickly start to miss her, causing them to leave the art exhibit early. Overall, it's pretty sweet, and I'm glad we got a little bit of character time for these two. Celestia knows they need it. It's a shame though that them leaving the art gallery also means we don't get to see more of Spearhead. He's pretty funny. Seeing how his art inspires others inspires him.
Say no more. My art has always spoken to me about what I love, but knowing that it spoke to you about what you love speaks to me. What?
Something like that. So in the end, Candy and Shining get back to Twilight's palace to get Flurry, who seemed to have enjoyed her time with Twilight after all. And here Twilight actually admits that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Good on her. It would have been easy to just pretend that she handled things with ease and truly is the best aunt ever, but she's really honest about making mistakes and being in over her head. I like it. So, everything is fine with this episode then? Well, no. There are a few things that didn't work. I don't think the problems ruin the episode, but let's talk about my 3 biggest issues quickly. Let's start with the one thing I mentioned several times during my blind commentary already. Twilight taking Flurry to the hospital full of sick foals. I do not know how exactly these horsey hives work in Equestria, but it seems to be an infectious disease, and from the looks of it, it seems to be something that is similar to chickenpox in real life. I stand by it. Taking Flurry there was not the safest thing to do, and I don't think Cadance and Shining would be too thrilled if Flurry got sick either. Then there is Flurry herself. Yeah, I still think her design is kinda creepy. But aside from that, 2 things bothered me about her in this episode. One was her unrealistic behavior with the Cake Twins. So, Pound and Pumpkin fight over a toy balloon, and Flurry tries to go King Solomon on their asses by chopping the baby right in half. I mean, breaking the toy in 2 so they can both play with it. This isn't about that this was a dumb idea that couldn't work. I don't expect the baby to come up with proper solutions to problems. That would be insane. What does bother me is that Flurry is apparently smart and empathic enough to identify the problem at hand and apply a basic, logical, albeit ineffectual solution to it. She's supposed to be a baby. They aren't that smart. Or empathic. Her acting so mature in this situation really rubbed me the wrong way, especially since everyone else is acting very realistic and believable in this episode. The other thing bothering me about her is once again her OP magic. Don't give me that magic search BS. She's clearly using her magic purposefully. So she's insanely powerful, naturally talented in the ways of magic, a good flyer and very smart for her age. Just slap a red and black color scheme on her and presto, Alicon OCs in a nutshell. Neither of those are the main issue though. That would be the entire premise. So let me get this straight. Shining Armor and Cadence travel all the way from the Crystal Empire to Ponyville, take Flurry Heart with them, and expect Twilight to be home and available to babysitting. Where do I even begin to explain that this is a terrible idea? First off, why take Flurry Heart with them at all? They're gone for less than a day. Couldn't anyone in the Crystal Empire take care of her? Like the legions of castle servants? Or Sunburst? You know, the Crystaller, who seems to be a mix of godfather, teacher, nanny, and general dog's body? Well, okay, let's say everyone in the Crystal Empire is grossly incompetent, and that Sunburst is in therapy after being molested by changelings or whatever, so they want to leave Flurry with a family member. Who said that Twilight would be home and available? She does have that magic map that sends her all around Equestria, so even if she's not off saving the world for once, her butt might start vibrating at any time and then it's off to wherever to solve some friendship problems. Really, informing her beforehand would have been a good idea. Sure, in the end they learned that lesson, but still. I want to imagine an alternate reality, where they drove halfway across Equestria with a baby to find Twilight is off to show the Griffins how to run a restaurant in Las Pegasus or something like that. Hours of traveling, with a baby nonetheless, for naught. Anyone who has ever traveled long distance with a baby knows how bad things can get there. Still, overall I think it was an enjoyable episode, maybe even my favorite from Season 7 so far. Ignoring the slightly stupid premise and Twilight recklessly endangering OP Flurry's health, we had some nice character moments for Shining and Cadence, the return of old Twilight, so to speak, Spike being supportive instead of a punching ball, everyone but Flurry acting like real people, and we end up with an overall fun episode. I've been Stratagem, thanks for watching and see you next time.